Hey everyone, welcome to Freedom Fridays. The live stream is getting started in all the places. So while all of my places are starting to get started. That was redundant, but you know what I mean. While everything's getting set up, I want to take a couple seconds here and welcome you. Hello, especially repay people and my people that are here. So if you're here live, I want to invite you to say hello in the chat so I can say hello to you, shout you out. Thank you for being here. It's really nice to be joining with you to do this Freedom Friday event. So, this is going to be a lot of fun. And then, if you're here on the replay, make sure you tell me that in the comments so I can get excited with you. I hope that you share your wins and whatever activities that you're adding to your fun and rest for the week. So, yes, either way, make sure you take a second to say hello. Okay? All right. Like, if you're here, do that now. Go to the chat box, to the comment box, whatever, and say hello. I have all the windows open, so I'm going to be able to see when you say hello. Okay? So that's to get us started. If you are new here and this is your first time and you're like, I'm not completely sure what's about to happen today, don't worry. It's all a lot of fun. And the whole point of why we're doing what we're doing is that we're being intentional, especially us as Black women, about taking back our rest and our freedom. And so we're doing that in a very intentional way. We are making a list of the things that we like to do for rest and fun, and then we're scheduling them out in our week. We're actually putting them in our calendar because that's telling our mind, that's telling our heart, that's putting behavior. We're changing our behavior to actually prioritize rest and fun, and that is exactly what we're doing here. In addition to setting up our schedule for next week with more rest and fun is the priority. In addition to that, we're also going to celebrate our wins from this week. We're going to wind down for next week. It's going to be a good time. So, I have a wonderful resource that I share with you guys completely free so that you can do this whenever you're ready. You can repeat this. I use the worksheet literally every single week. I like to do it on my iPad. So if you don't want to do it that way, you're welcome to print it out. Hey there on Instagram. Thanks for joining. So you can download your worksheet at freedomfridays.yourdreamstrategist.com. And in that worksheet, that's going to be how you can keep track of everything we're doing together. You can just write it right in the worksheet, and you can do it on your computer, you can do it on your iPad, you can print it out and do it on paper, whatever works for you. But it's going to be the rundown of all the exercises we're doing in a paper form so you can do it with me. Okay. So let me repeat that website one more time. That's freedomfridays.yourdreamstrategist.com. Okay. Now, it's Friday and it's a week later, but I'm still a little stuffy in the nose from the sinus infection I had last week. So if I get a little stuffy and I got to stop and blow my nose, I'm sorry. I'm doing my best here. Feeling much better, but it's not completely gone yet. So I give you forewarning. Please excuse me if I have to take a pause. But otherwise, let's go ahead and get started. So, the first thing we're going to do in today's event in this exercise is that we are going to create a list of fun and rest activities that we're going to do. Because here's the thing, here's the reality that I have found, not just for me, but also for my clients. When we finally start making this transition to quit being a strong Black woman, to stop doing the most, we realize that we have more time, but we don't know what we would do without more time. And so what we end up doing is we come home, we turn on the television, and we veg out in front of the television for hours. And then we end up going to bed later, eating a bunch of junk that just makes us gain weight. We're not actually doing the things that refill our cup and help us get rejuvenated. So first and foremost, we're going to start by creating a list of what are some of the things that help us get more rested and rejuvenated so that we can actually enjoy our rest time, that we can actually feel refreshed from our rest time. So if you go into your worksheet, that's where we start on page number 4. We're going to create a list of fun things that we like to do and then a list of restful things that we like to do. Now, I got a special treat coming on Monday, and actually it's going to be a whole series, but this series is going to start on Monday with a series of events, a series of YouTube videos, collaborations where I'm going to be collabing with some people who have some really great ideas, some really great suggestions for more rest and fun in your week. And the first one is going to be this Monday at 8 p.m. It's going to be live, and it's going to be with Kat from Rebloom Room. And Kat is a master at hammocking. Now, I have been talking about hammocking the last couple weeks, and I'm sure you kind of like, well, what do you mean by hammocking? Like, what does that even look like? I've never used the hammock. Is that one of those white people things? Well, first of all, it's not a white people thing, even though I had never experienced it until I saw a bunch of white people doing it. But it's such a restful activity and I love it. And you could kind of pair it with different things. So we're going to get into all of that on Monday. So make sure I'm actually going to be scheduling that live today so that you can turn on notifications. But today, put this event in your calendar. Monday at 8 p.m. on YouTube Live, we're going to do a hammock time event with Kat at Rebloom Room. It's going to be so much fun. Again, these are hobbies for Black women that really help us get more rest and fun. Hey, 99 Pretty Face, welcome. Thanks for joining. Yes, and then we must have some people over on YouTube as well joining. So if you're joining, remember I can't see you unless you stop and say hello. And you know, when we go into people's houses, we say hello, good evening, good morning, whatever. So come on, welcome in. I'm happy you're here. Make sure you take a second and say hello in the chat so I can say hello to you. Okay, so I was just talking about how I'm doing that event with Kat on Monday. So that's hammock time with Kat at Rebloom Room. So that you can add a new hobby, hammocking. Yeah, thank you for saying hello. Fried rice, friend rice. Yes, yes. Hey, enough. How are you? Thanks for joining today. Come on. There we go. Happy to see you guys. Yes. Yeah, so we're doing that event on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, hammock time with Kat at Rebloom Room. That's one of the events that I'm going to be adding into my calendar today. Okay, so some other events for fun and rest. For some events for fun, maybe you like to go roller skating or roller blading. Maybe you like to join a run club. Maybe you like to, oh, I don't know, do a drill team. Maybe you like to do social dancing. Y'all know I love social dancing. That was the first Hobbies for Black Women video that I did. So you can check that out. There's definitely great places all around the world. Lately, I've been checking out some information about Tulsa, and Tulsa has um they have a group of people, a dancing club over there as well. So yes, maybe check that out too. Yes, happy Friday, y'all. Welcome to Friday. I'm so excited for another wonderful Friday, okay? So yes, those are some activities that you could put on your list for fun. If you have any other ideas of fun things that you like to do, especially as a Black woman, a Black person, share them so that the rest of us can come and try your fun activity too. Put them in the chat right now. Hey, Ann, welcome. Thanks for taking some time to join. We're just listing out some of the fun and restful activities that we like to do because when we have some time to actually rest, then we will come to this list of activities rather than just vegging out in front of the television. That's not actually going to rejuvenate us, okay? So share whatever activities you like to do for fun. And then now let's think about some things that we like to do for rest. Now, I think as a restful person, um hey, KLS Cleaning Services Inc. Welcome for joining. Welcome for joining. Welcome to the live stream today. I promise I can talk. Um, we're listing out some activities, restful activities, so that instead of just going home when we're finally have a minute to ourselves and vegging out in front of the television, we're listing out what are some restful activities that we like to do. I love this. Enough over on YouTube says crafting and going to the library. I love the library too. I like the library because on it, this is so weird. I like to do it in Target too. I'm not gonna say it's weird. I'm just gonna say it's special to me. But I like to go look at the covers. I think not that I want to judge every book by its cover, but sometimes the covers like really get me excited about it because I know what kind of like what I'm thinking like fantasy books that I love to go read and things like that. So, and I love to be able to see, I love when I see a cover with some black faces on it. It just makes me happy. So yes, going to the library and looking through all the books and seeing what the covers looks like gets me excited. Yes, and over on Instagram's has hearts for it. And she also said, the library, come on. Those are some restful things to do. Now, here's the other dynamic that I want you to consider about the restful column. Because rest is going to look different for an introvert than it is going to look for an extrovert. An extrovert, the difference between extrovert and introversion is not that, one is shy and one is not. It has nothing to do with your level of shyness. Instead, it's about how you feel rejuvenated, how you get rest. An extroverted person likes to get rest with other people, communing with other people, whereas an introverted person likes to have time to themselves, time where they're alone with themselves and they get to be with themselves. And so your version of rest for each of those things, depending on what kind of person you are, is going to look a little different. And not only that, introversion and extroversion are not an immediate like one or the other. They're actually a scale. And extroversion is over here and introversion is over here. And you can be anywhere within that scale. And you can shift within that scale based on how much of one or the other that you've got. So you want to think about if I'm an introverted person or if I need introversion rest at this moment, maybe some of the restful things that you are doing are activities where it's more alone or together with people where you're not actually talking. So an example of that, I am all about this event on Monday where we hammock together. We're going to have a little bit of conversation at the beginning, but then we're going to have 20 minutes where everybody is in their hammock or in their restful spot or in their blanket and we're not talking about anything. It's just going to be us introverting together quietly. And let me tell you, this makes me so excited. Does anybody else get excited about introverting with other people without having to extrovert? Like, it gets me completely excited. So maybe that's the kind of a event that you want to have on your restful list. Okay. Let me see what other restful. Oh, so if you're an extrovert, maybe this is a time where you want to go do a group sport like playing tag football or, basketball, or maybe you're going to a discussion conversation where it's a topic that you really love. There's so many different ways that you can do this, but I want you to think about what are activities specific to you or some activities that you've never tried that are restful and you would like to try and put them on your list because now and when you have some time to rest, instead of getting to that point and saying, oh my gosh, I have no idea what the heck I'm going to do to rest right now, or what the heck I'm going to do to get some more fun in my calendar, you have a list to refer back to, and you don't have to start from scratch. You can kind of just say, oh, I think I'm feeling this one today. That's what I'm going to do, right? So it makes it a lot easier to um actually step into rest and fun when we actually have the time to do it. Now we're going to take that a step further. If you go to page 5. Now I'm on a roll and I might have forgot to say, or I'm going to say again, I've already said once. I am going through a worksheet with you. It's a companion worksheet completely free. It's at freedomfridays.yourdreamstrategist.com. Freedomfridays.yourdreamstrategist.com. And I'm walking you through this exercise because then you can come back to this list. And every time you think of a new fun activity or a new restful activity that feels good for you, you can add it to your list. And you can keep coming back to it every week when you're actually scheduling more rest and fun in your calendar. Because when we do a behavior change with this much intentionality, the more that you do it, it becomes second nature. And then you don't have to think about it as much. But at this time, when we're starting from scratch, when we're used to having ourselves work harder and harder and harder, when we really want to be working less and living more, this is how we start being intentional about making that shift. Okay. So, oh, I love this. Enough said, introverting together is my favorite. Girl, you my kind of people. Anytime you want to hang out, let's hang out, girl. Cause we can introvert. You can have your own little space right here, and I can have my own little space, and we can share some lemonade. But the rest of it is quiet and just fun, and not being alone. I love that. It's the. it- you're right. Can you see? I get excited about it too. Introverting together is my ultimate favorite. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So now that we've talked about fun things to do and restful things to do, I want you to think about where are some places and some events that you can actually look for. Now, let me see. I didn't really prep to do this today, but one of the things that I like to do now that I have a list that says hammocking, book clubs, run clubs, now that I have a list of things that I want to do, I can actually go on the interwebs and search for different events and start getting those in my calendar. And some of the places that I like to search, my number one is to go to Eventbrite because Eventbrite generally has free events and they have paid events too. So you get a good range of events to choose from. But another place is also meetup.com. And you can just go straight on Google and say, like, what are the events like this? And then here's what I love. I know everybody is like, the interwebs are watching everything that you do. But if the internet or if YouTube or if Instagram, if you start looking those things up on your computer, all of those other websites will start showing you those things automatically, and they'll start bringing those things to you. They're doing the research for you, girl. I say take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. Let it bring all the events to you so you don't even have to do the research. All you got to do is say, RSVP, I'll be there, and put it in your calendar. Okay? Why not make your life easier? So I love that. So, but today, if you're not having the internet or, Instagram or all of those things show you those events, the ways to start looking for those things are to go onto those websites and put in hammock time or book club or run club events and start looking up those things. And when you find them, RSVP to them and then put them in your calendar. It makes my life so much easier. So like I want to say yesterday I was scrolling through Instagram and it showed me an event, a free live music event tonight at 6 p.m. and I was like, oh, this is perfect, and I hadn't planned anything for tonight. Guess what I did? I went and put that in my calendar with the date and time and the $0. Come on, that always makes me happy. And then all I got to do is have my little snack ready, my little fun meal, take it with me, have my blanket, and I'm going to go enjoy free live R&B music tonight. Come on. And now I've put something restful and fun into my schedule. It makes it so much easier, right? That's what we're trying to do. Because when it feels difficult to get more rest and fun in your schedule, instead of getting more rest and fun, what we actually do is go veg out. And I'm trying to get us away from that because that's not what fills our cup. That's not what gets us out of this cycle. That's not what helps us stop being a strong Black woman. I have come to find I need at least three fun and restful activities for every hard activity I got going on. If you got five hard activities going on, you need 15 rest and fun events to help balance it out, okay? You think I'm crazy? I'm telling you from experience. This is how we are super tangible about keeping our cup filled up, okay? All right. So, I hope you've been taking a second to look through to find some of those events and places to go for rest and fun based on the list that we originally created. So now, now we're shifting into the wind down and the scheduling, okay? So the way that we start to do that, I want to know, okay, we're planning for next week, but what about this week? You've accomplished a lot of things this week. What are you celebrating for this week? I want to celebrate with you. You need to pat yourself on the back because, oh, I had a session with a client yesterday. She's an amazing client. She's been working with me for some time. And she said, girl, I still have a hard time celebrating my wins. We don't intrinsically, or we haven't been bred or reminded to lately recognize just how much progress we've made. So every week I'm reminding you of it. I'm going to be the person that reminds you. So what are three things, or how about this? Not even three. Just tell me what's one thing you are celebrating from this week, okay? Like my client yesterday, it was such a good session. She was so sweet. I'm celebrating this. This is one of my things I'm celebrating. She said, I have been actually receiving that I am great at what I do. And she said, I'm not being arrogant, but I feel like I'm actually learning how to be confident. She's like, I don't even know if confident is the word, but I'm learning how to receive the fact that I am good at what I do. And I was like, girl, you recognize that's a win, right? That's a huge win. Cause I remember when she first started, she never talked about how great she was. And I was like, but girl, you are killing it and you're not recognizing it for yourself. But now she's starting to recognize it. That was such a huge win in the session. And then she said, you know what? Yes, I've been putting in the work, but working with you has been helping me too. And I was like, I take that as a win too. I'll receive it. We got to learn to receive just how well we are doing. Sis, you're putting in a lot of work. Pat yourself on the back for it. You did that. You did that. I'm so proud of you for doing that. What are we celebrating? Because I'm celebrating it with you. You think I'm crazy, but I'm not. I'm going to celebrate it right here on camera. So take a second and tell me, what are you celebrating for the week? Okay. So that's one of the things I'm celebrating. The second thing that I am celebrating, I have been coming to this work club called Switch Yards, and I really love this location. I call it a win because I recognize that um after the pandemic, like during the pandemic, I really got used to working at home, but lately I've been in a season of hating it. And I was like, I don't know what the heck I'm going to do. And so finding this work club has been a nice happy medium to me feeling like I have somewhere to go, work, and then leave and shut it off. And that's been a really nice change of pace. And really good at helping me create some good boundaries so that work is work and fun is fun. So I take that as a win for me as well this week. I already told you about the win with my client. What other win am I celebrating this week? Excuse me. Oh, you guys, I have got so much amazing content scheduled for the next couple months. Yeah, I'm really excited about what's coming, and that's a win for me because when I started YouTube back the end of last year, batching content was hella hard for me. It's super it was really hard for me to get into a good rhythm, and I feel like I'm finally getting into a good rhythm. And not only that, I feel really excited about what's coming in the future. So, that is another good win. Oh, I have multiple wins. I have another win is that I found some flights for the wedding that I'm in November. And so I'm excited about that because the flight is $107 round trip. And I think I have a house sit for it too. So I'm really excited about that. That's another win. I do need to start looking for, I'm a bridesmaid, so I do need to start looking for my dress, but I'm excited about that. And I got to talk with her for an over an hour and a half this week. So, as you can see, all of these things are wins, and it's really easy to get in the habit of just bulldozing and just doing the next thing and doing the next thing and doing the next thing, and not really stopping to celebrate just how much progress we've made in a week. I just gave you six off the bat. I'm sure I got like 20 more if I actually stop and recognize. And there's some deeper internal ones. Like I've been watching, y'all, I'm gonna do a whole video on this, but I watched Queenie. That is such a good series. It's out of the UK and it's about a woman's transition, Queenie's transition to heal from being a strong Black woman. Oh, it's right up my alley. Such a good show. And I just watched that and felt so much permission to be myself, to be seen. I take that as a win too, because I'm glad I took the time to actually watch it and I sincerely enjoyed it. So I hope you guys check it out, but I'm also going to do a video about that too. So many wins. So many wins. So that's what we're doing right now. We're celebrating our wins. Now, in the midst of that, you are welcome to put your wins in the chat whenever you have a chance. Hey Daniel, thanks for joining over Instagram. And if you're joining me again here on LinkedIn or on YouTube, make sure you say hello as well. And you can download the worksheet to go with this whole activity at freedomfridays.yourdreamstrategist.com. So now that we've created our list of fun and rest, added to our list of fun and rest, and we looked for some recent events that are coming up in the next week. Plus, we've also celebrated our wins. Now it's time to move into this section where we set up our schedule for next week. Now, here's where most people get in trouble. When you start setting up your schedule, you're probably the first thing that you're doing is setting up all the work that you have to do. That's not the goal of this session. Because here's the thing, as a strong Black woman, as a recovering workaholic, it's so easy for us to continue prioritizing work over everything else. You don't need to prioritize work, because you always prioritize work. Instead, to change our behavior, to make more space for us to have more time for rest and fun, to actually get to work-life balance, I want you to work on scheduling fun and rest first and then go back and schedule work, because you're always going to make sure you get the work done. That's never been your problem. That's not that's never been the problem with anybody over on this side of the interwebs. Instead, we have a struggle with scheduling more rest and fun. So you're going to start with scheduling more rest and fun. Then you're going to schedule any other activities, work activities, kids activities, husband's activities, all of those. You can schedule those afterwards. And then we're going to move into the wind down. So all of those things are in the worksheet to help walk you through how to do that. I am going to give us 25 minutes to do that on our own. There's going to be a timer on the screen. I'm going to put a little vibey music in the background to set the mood. But we're going to take this 25 minutes to set up our schedule, knowing that we are actually setting ourselves up to have more rest and fun because we're being intentional about it from the beginning. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. Let me know. And on Instagram says battery is low. I hope everyone knows how precious you are. Thanks for letting me join for a bit. Of course, Anne, I'm glad that you got to join. We're always happy when everyone stops in. And yes, if for some reason you're having a hard time, um, if you're having a hard time, doing this right at this exact moment, there's going to be a replay. You can watch this and do it later, and you can put your wins in the comments, in the chat. I'm still going to celebrate you. So don't worry. There's space for all of the things that have to happen. Okay. Okay. And then Enough has a question, says, does it ever feel uncomfortable to say your wins out loud? This part is scary for me. Ooh. That's a really, really, really good question. You know what? I do think that sometimes it can be uncomfortable to say my wins out loud. For one, because what if somebody judges me that they don't think my win is a win? Or what if it feels really personal? What if it feels like something that I should have never had to work on in the first place? Those are the things that come to mind when I think about if I'm feeling uncomfortable about scheduling rest and fun. But here's what I will say about that. I will say that the more that I choose to say my wins out loud, the more that I invite people into a space where they can show up for me. But if I don't say them out loud, I'm not even giving them an opportunity for them to celebrate me. I'm not giving them the space to say, I actually applaud you for doing that. And that I know it's scary. It's like dreaming out loud is scary too. Like, what if I say my dreams out loud, but then it doesn't happen when I say it's going to happen? I can tell you most of my dreams almost never happen when they say they're going to happen, but it's still scary for me to say them out loud. But I say them out loud anyway because I'm choosing to commit to them. I'm choosing to believe in them. If I'm scared to say them out loud, how will anybody else say my dreams or commit to my dreams or encourage my dreams or celebrate my dreams with me? And the same thing about my wins. If it's a win to me, it's a win to me. And that's worth celebrating. And here's the thing about that. Let me be real clear. If anybody ever gets on here and doesn't celebrate your or wants to downplay your win, I'm gonna be blocking them because that's not the vibe we're creating over here. Every win that you have is something that I'm excited to celebrate with you. Even if your win is just I woke up today. That is still a win worth celebrating. And you don't even have to tell me why you chose that win. Maybe waking up today, I don't know that maybe waking up today is so big for you because yesterday you thought about taking your life. I celebrate that you're still here. I celebrate that you chose to see still being here as a win. I choose to celebrate that you shared it with me. Like, that's a huge thing. So, I say all of that to say, yes, sharing these things can be scary, especially on the internet. And I want this to feel like a safe space where you can share all of those things and you don't even have to share why that's a win for you. I'm still going to celebrate it with you because, for one, you deserve to be celebrated. And I'm going to take every single opportunity I possibly can to celebrate you because you deserve it deeply. In addition to that, whatever you see as a win is a win to me because you have been fighting for something and I know it's been hard, but you're still fighting for it. You're still here. You're still going strong. So I celebrate it with you. So listen, you see, I could get on a rant about a girl. I am on it. I'm on it with you. Come on, celebrate those things. I love it. She said, thank you. This is very helpful. Good. I'm glad it's helpful. Because I want you to know you deserve to celebrate whatever win it is for you. I love it. Okay, so then Enough says, this week I was on someone's live and it was scary for me. And I'm really proud of that I did it. You all should be really proud. Getting on a live stream, you guys, you might think that it's easy, but I've been doing this live stream every week for 9 months. And I remember at the beginning, I would be terribly, terribly scared. What if no one joined? What if people hated what I said? What if people, man, there were so many things to be scared about it. And yet here we are. And now I love it. I enjoy getting on here with you. So enough. I'm so glad that you got on there and you did that live. I'm so glad that you decided to share a part of you with so many people. And now that I know that you do lives, that means we have to collaborate and you have to come be on a live with me. I'm so proud of you. And you should be proud of yourself, girl. Pat yourself on the back or do a round of applause or do a happy dance. I want you to celebrate it. I am celebrating you for doing it. Celebrate it out loud, girl. Come on. Congratulations. It's amazing. I love it. I love it. You guys, yes, this is what it's about. Like, it's very easy to do things in the cover of night because we're scared of sharing it. But I love that quote, and I don't remember it all at the moment, but it's like, but what if my light shines? And what if, the core of it is like, well, what if I share my light and somebody doesn't like it? But the other part of it says, but what if they love it? You know what I mean? And yes, you're giving me a space to love it, to celebrate it with you, to celebrate you. So thank you for giving me that chance to celebrate you. It is my absolute honor. I love it so much. Yay! I would love that, but I need a month or so to recover from the jitters from the first one. That's okay. We got time. There's no pressure to do it tomorrow. But I'm glad. I'm glad that you're working through it. And I'm telling you, every time it gets easier, it just gets easier and easier. So, yes, keep going. Keep doing it. You got it. I love it. I love it. So good. Okay, you guys, thank you for sharing that win. That really just warmed my whole heart today. I love it. Anybody else that have wins, anybody that just joined on, if you just joined, say hello. If you have wins, share them so I can celebrate them with you. If you don't have the worksheet, you could download it at freedomfridays.yourdreamstrategist.com. And now we're about to move into the section where we schedule we're going to set up our schedule for next week. So let me go ahead and put the timer on and put the music on, and then I will see you and when the countdown's done. All right. Um, Okay, that was the end of the song. We got just 35 seconds to finish up. So finish up your schedule, and then we're going to move into the wind down. Okay, all that 20 seconds. I'm gonna look. Okay, that's it. It's officially time is up. So I hope that you have taken some time to um schedule your rest and fun for this week. I hope, like, officially it's in your calendar. Mine is in my calendar. I use an amazing app called Ellie. There is a review and like a walkthrough on how to use it on my channel. But it's a digital planner that helps me do time blocking. So it helps me break down my day into how I'm going to do things, and I make sure I add in time blocks for fun and rest. So like Thursdays are my dancing night. Hammocking is usually on Wednesdays, even though I'm adding an extra hammock time on Monday. I have time blocks for setting up my YouTube. So that really helps me balance out my schedule and get everything scheduled. So if you're looking for some more insight on how to do that, make sure you go back and check out that. I will make sure I put the link to that video down in the description. It was on a different Freedom Fridays event. But I hope that you took some time and scheduled rest and fun in your calendar. That is what we're here to do. Everything else, schedule around your rest and fun, because you've never had a hard time prioritizing work. Instead, we're learning how to prioritize rest and fun. Okay. So now that we've done that, we're moving into the section where we are winding down for the weekend. And I love this because um, this is something else that we have to be intentional about. Like, we're going into the weekend, but if we don't have a bit of a ritual to help our mind, our body, our soul know that it is time to shut down, then it'll just keep working because that's what it's used to doing. I don't know why I sang it, but it is. Our body just is so used to doing it. So we actually have to be intentional about helping us shift into wind down time. So there's three wind down activities that I like to do with you guys every single week. Again, I have those in the worksheet as well. So if you do not have the worksheet is at freedomfridays.yourdreamstrategist.com. And the wind down activities are on page 10. So there's three things that we're going to do. But before we do that, the first thing is look at your calendar one last time. Make sure that you have at least one restful activity and at least one fun activity. I know this is new. You don't need to go to from 0 to 100. You don't need to have 30 different rest and fun activities. Just have one. One for one schedule, one fun one for next week, and one restful one for next week. And we're only looking at next week, not the week 2 weeks in advance, just next week. Okay. Keep it simple and just do those two. As long as you got those two, then you're ready to move into the wind down, okay? So wind down step number one. This is my favorite one because every week I feel like this freaks people out. And don't worry, it freaks me out every week too, but it's also so good to keep challenging myself to do it. And here's what it is. You're going to look through all of the screens on your computer and see what screens can you close. Can you close a screen? Can you close a tab? Can you close a window? I'm not going to judge you on if you only close one tab or versus closing one screen. That is completely up to you. This is a judge-free zone. And you might not even be able to close any of them. And then guess what? That's okay. Because next week, I'm sure now that you know that it's coming, you'll be better prepared to do this next week. And you can just start with one. Just start with one. And if you decide you need it and you're like, man, I closed that and I needed it, guess what? You can reopen it. Okay? This is there is no right or wrong. There's no perfection here. There's no need to bully yourself. This is space for us to take a just a baby step. And baby steps are hard. Baby steps for babies are hard. Like put that in the context. This is a hard step. But you're just taking a small step towards having more rest and fun. And every time you take a small step, that snowball is going to affect, it's going to grow. So just one small step. So look through your windows right now and see, are there any screens, any windows, any tabs that you can close? And if you can do that, go ahead and close it. Okay. Did you do it? It's okay. Don't worry. I got 3 windows I can close. I'm kind of excited. Don't worry. I still got 10 open. Again, I said this is a judgment-free space. So don't feel bad. You don't need to close them all, okay? Just try to close one. That's okay. All right. So you close just one. So now, wind down step number 2. In this wind down step, I want you to think about what are you going to eat today? What kind of dinner can you do for yourself that's just a little bit different than what you usually do? Because it helps your body, your mind, your soul recognize that we're moving into a restful moment. Maybe it's that you choose to make a meal like that takes a little bit longer. Instead of just doing a one pot meal, maybe you're gonna make you some steak with some steamed string beans and some cornbread on the side, or something that you know takes a little bit longer, but you're like, oh, I love when I get to do this because this is just so delicious, but it takes so long, I don't get to do it other times. Maybe it's something like that, okay? Or maybe it's that tonight is the night that you take yourself out. And we're not going crazy so that we're gaining weight cuz sometimes when we treat ourselves, we counteract some of our other goals cuz we go a little bit too far. So don't go so far that you're counteracting another goal, but do something that's going to make you feel like this is moving into wind down from the week. You've been working hard all week and we've just celebrated you for that. And now take that celebration a little further and say, I can mellow out for a little bit. I can have a block of time where I can be my most rested and calmed and less strict self. Like I can actually be just my quieted self. Okay. So maybe that's taking yourself out to dinner because maybe your structure is that you push yourself to make a meal at home all the time, but today you don't want to have to cook. Your treat to yourself is not having to cook, okay? Whatever it is, you decide it based on what's good for you. This is not me. This is not about me or your neighbor or anybody else that's on this YouTube. It's about deciding what's going to help you shift into rest and fun, and winding down for the weekend, okay? Okay. So then once you decide that, also too, if you're closing windows, let me know how many windows in the chat that you're closing. If you're going to somewhere good, especially if you're in another city, tell me the restaurant you're going to and what city you're in. Or if you're making a meal, tell me what meal you're making because I want to go try it. I want to go try the restaurants. I want to go try all the things. I love traveling. I'm always traveling to somebody else's city. So I want to know where you're going so I can try it when I get there, especially if it's vegan. I definitely want to try that. Okay. So let me know. And then wind down step number 3. What is something fun that you're going to do for yourself tonight? Because we already set up our schedule for rest and fun for next week. But I want to make sure that you're giving yourself the ability to really lean into rest this whole weekend. So by the time you get to Monday, you have skipped the Sunday scaries because you actually, instead of worrying about work, your brain wasn't thinking about work on Sunday because you didn't have to. You already had set up your schedule today. That's the beauty of setting up the schedule today. The whole weekend is nothing but rest because you already know you have a plan what's coming for next week. So you don't have to spend energy preparing for that. We've done the preparation already. Now we could just enjoy the whole 48 hours of the weekend. So, what is that fun thing that you're going to do tonight that your body is like, oh, it's the weekend? Baby. What are you going to do with that? Okay. So, like I said earlier, I have a friend that is doing a performance tonight. She's an R&B singer, and you know what? I've never got to see her live, and they're having an event tonight. So um, I want to support. So I'm going out to that. That is at 6 p.m. here in Charlotte. I got the rest of the details written down. I don't have them in my head, but that's what I'm doing tonight. So that's the fun thing I'm doing. The fun meal that I'm doing. So, I have been trying out a Green Chef box because Green Chef has completely organic food, and I'm all about that. That's a topic for another day. I can surely get into that. So we'll talk about that later. But I think I'm going to make one of my Green Chef meals tonight. Um, or I might just go get something to eat. I haven't completely decided. So I'm going between the two. Either I am going to um go get a vegan pizza or I'm going to do one of my Green Chef boxes. So that's what I'm going to do for my wind down this weekend. Again, if you're still here, I would love to hear what are you doing for your wind down for the weekend? Because I might need to try what you got going on. It might be something real good. I feel like it is. I feel like it's something real good. And if you're looking for some ideas, don't hesitate to try mine, you know? Let me know whichever way you decide. Okay. So now that we've gone through all of these things, I can understand if you got on this call today and you're like, girl, this is more than I thought this was going to be. This is hard. Like I know that it's good for me and yet it's still hard to um take this action towards no longer being a strong black woman. Like it's hard to stop being that because I've been that for so long that I don't know what else or who else to be. I get it. I completely get it. And if that's you, that's where I come in as your life coach. I am Rashida. I am a life coach for Black women, and I help us make this transition from being the strong Black woman. We quit being the strong Black woman and really stepping into our Black woman audacity. This audacious belief that we deserve rest, that we deserve to ask for help, that we don't have to be strong all the time, that we get to be free just like everybody else. We don't have to be the workhorse of America. And I know that's a hard thing to step into because guess what? It was hard for me. And now they're even making TV shows about it. So it's a thing. It's a thing. It's hard, but that's okay. That's why there's coaches to help us do that. And so I am a coach that wants to help you make that transition. If you are interested in making that transition and taking the things that we're learning here in Freedom Fridays and taking them to the next level, then I would love for you to check out my program, Meant for More. So it's at meantformore.com. It's a coaching program where I have a curriculum that I guide you through the structured process of making this transition that is actually hard. I make it really simple for one, because I'm sharing my experience with you and you're making this experience your own, but you're also not doing it alone. Um, I'm going to be celebrating you when you don't know how to celebrate yourself. I'm going to be encouraging you and pushing you when you're like, I don't know if I can ever do this. Because here's the thing that I know for sure: everything that you want and you believe you deserve to have, you deserve to have all of that and 10 times more. And sometimes we need someone to help us see that. Sometimes we need someone to help us take that and actually receive it. And that's what I'm here for. So, again, make sure that you check that out. It's at meantformore.yourdreamstrategist.com. We'll get on a free call, completely free, to talk about your situation and make sure it's a good fit for us to work together. And then from there, we can jump into doing the work and actually getting you, again, from this strong Black woman idea into your Black woman audacity. Come on, be audacious. I deserve it. Yes, you do, sis. Let's take it. Let's take it. All right, you guys. Well, you know I enjoy you. We do this every single Friday because every single Friday we still need more rest and fun. And we're going to take it 1 week at a time. So join me again here next week, next Friday at noon here, YouTube Live, on Instagram, on LinkedIn to schedule more rest and fun in your calendar. So I will see you next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. Okay? All right. Bye bye, guys.